don't be a micromanager of the universe and
Yeah.
don't insist that your money comes in a certain specific way. You
Yeah.
have to be open and let your strategy and your journey be revealed to you, because the how is not any of your business until it is, right? Because at some
Yeah.
point you do get some breadcrumbs, you do get some hints, you do get some opportunities, and it's your chance to walk through that door. Real quick, before we dive into today's episode, I have a free gift for you. In celebration of my new program, Money Magnetics, I'm giving away my Money Magnetics guided meditation. Ooh, say that 5 times fast to you for free. Every time I do this meditation, I kid you not, if I do it for a few days in a row, money magic seriously happens. It really, really works. I cannot wait to share it with you. You can download it now at kelseyAida.com/MM freebie, MM for Money Magnetics. Find this link in the show notes, and you'll have to send me a message on Instagram to let me know how it goes for you. Enjoy. Hello, hello. Welcome back. High vibing it peeps. We love you so much. We're excited to be here for another rockin' episode of High Vibing It. And we really genuinely did have every intention of doing a part 3 for the
Totally.
soulmate
Every
conversation.
intention.
And we were like really feeling it when we were feeling it. But then we came back to record and we were like,
We just got all of them done quicker than we thought. We got all the
yeah,
main questions done, and but if you guys have any questions that I didn't answer or that we didn't talk about, please let's talk about it. Reach out and ask. But yeah, I think we've gotten the bulk of the major questions like done with. So we were really excited to talk about what are we going to talk about, Kels? Because this is exciting.
Yeah. So lately I've been feeling in the collective like a strong urge and like a need and a desire to really master our money magnetics and
Yeah,
be financial abundance attractors and creatrixes. I don't know what the plural of
I
creatrix
think
is.
that's it. Creatrix Eye.
Creatrix. And so we thought, since we are out of questions for part 3 until you guys feed us some more questions that you have on the topics of reincarnation, past lives, soulmates, soul groups, all that
Future
jazz.
lives, parallel lives, all the things. Yeah.
Yeah, we thought that we were more excited today to dive into some money manifesting.
Yeah. And
Um,
Kelsey's been feeling it in the collective. I've been seeing it with almost every client is like, what if we talked about money this week? And it's definitely something that's been on my mind. And I think it's because, I mean, for me, I just think, well, spring, season of abundance, people are thinking more about like blossoming to their next level. At least that's how I think about it. And I think maybe just the energy might be there for abundance. So I would love to dive into that.
yeah, and I'm no astrologer, but I am a YouTube astrology fanatic. And according to lots of the videos that I've listened to recently, Pluto is shifting into Aquarius, which is huge. I mean, it hasn't moved into this sign in 200 years. And if you know anything about the sign of Aquarius, Aquarius is humanitarian, Aquarius is technology, intellect, future thinking, futuristic stuff.
And what's
And
Pluto mean? What's Pluto about?
Pluto
Is that what you need
is
to work on?
Pluto. You're gonna have to Google this because now
I'm
you've asked the
gonna
question. I
Google
don't
it.
have an
All
answer.
the astrologers listening are like, guys, it's this. Just say that. Can't hear you. Sorry.
We're just astrology fanatics, okay?
Yeah.
We're fanatics enthusiasts. We're not professionals. But I have a sneaky feeling that people wanting to master their finances has a lot to do with Pluto moving into Aquarius. Don't
Okay.
ask me
Pluto
why.
represents subconscious forces ruling all that is below the surface. Hey, that's my kind of planet. Is it a planet or is it? Do we decide if it's a planet or not, guys? I think it's a planet. No.
I'm calling it a planet.
We're just gonna call it a planet. I don't think Pluto will be upset with us if we call it a planet. Yeah,
Yeah.
on the
So
upside, Pluto is also associated with renewal and rebirth, which is absolutely perfect for this conversation. It represents endings and new beginnings, as well as spiritual growth and rebirth. This is like the perfect storm for abundance if you're allowing yourself to play your cards right, and if you're allowing to use that energy in an intentional way. I think it could be great.
yeah, I've just been really feeling strongly like an ask for this. And My friend Melissa Monte, she has the podcast called Mind Love, and she has this membership for her people where she gives them like mini courses. And she asked me to do this mini course on manifesting money. And I was like, in true manifesting generator fashion, I was like responding to that, like, ooh, yeah, that feels juicy. Let
Mm,
me do it. And then once I made her this mini course, I was like, this is awesome. This needs to be a full blown course. So I've been in like money manifesting downloads, asking the universe, like, what's stopping us? What do we need to know? What do we need to do different? How do we shift our energy? And so I've
yeah.
just been in the zone when it comes to money manifesting. So stay tuned for my new online course, Money Magnetics. But in the meantime, we just want to talk about it on this show, and it'll probably be like a 2 episode shindig. So get ready for the event.
Yay.
Yay.
That was quite the introduction.
Right? I know.
And in lieu of Kelsey's amazing money course, I do have a money magnet toolkit with hypnosis involved and tapping and affirmations and all the things. Quite literally a toolkit with all kinds of different techniques and practices for you to help manifest money faster. So let's just dive into it because I'm feeling the energy. Kelsey's bringing a lot of big energy to this episode. So let's go.
Yeah, make sure you send me the link to that too. So I'll put it in the show notes
Oh yeah,
for
should do that.
everybody.
Oh, but you have to be a member. So if anybody's not a member, you can do a 7 days free if you want and just do it that way. Or if you're really nice, you can just stay and be a member, a monthly member, and enjoy all the other toolkits and all the other hypnosis as well. So it's very, very cool. I did not mean for this to be a plug, and I'm very sorry, but I
Don't be
feel like
sorry, it's your show. Plug all
I feel
your
like I
shit.
have to say that you have to be a member in order to access all of that, but you can definitely do that. So yes, I will give you that link.
Yes.
Okay,
Cool.
now
Okay,
let's go.
link in the show notes. We're gonna help you manifest more money. But real quick before we dive in, I know
Oh,
the
geez.
suspense is killing you. We wanted to read a new review that we got that just made our hearts flutter, and we were so happy
Oh,
because we love
yeah.
reading your guys' reviews. So thank you to Brooklyn's for writing
Brooklyn.
this review. It says, love this podcast. Thank you both so much for this podcast. I found you from Wake Up with Gratitude podcast, and now I'm hooked. I love the down to earth, practical, modern way you present LOA, gratitude, self love, etc. You don't know it, but you two are my new best friends. Thank you again.
So we
Oh,
do know it. We
we do
know.
know it. Now
We
we know
feel
it.
it.
And
Now
you're
we
our best
know it.
friend too. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Someone else says, a must listen for manifestation. I agree. This is definitely a must listen if you have big goals and dreams. Thank you
True.
to Shalomo Solson. Thank you. Guys, if you haven't left a review, you should. And if you want us to read it on the air, we will. So if you want to be featured as a reviewer, please just go leave us one. Say a couple words about how the show has affected you or the value you get out of it, and we'd love to read it on the air. I think we should start doing that more.
Don't test us with a good time. If you leave a fun review, it might get read.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love it.
Without further ado, money manifesting. Let's talk about it. The people want to know. I want to keep exploring this topic. I think we should start with some just general do's and don'ts, and maybe even like busting some common money manifesting misconceptions or like law of attraction teachings that maybe we are just like, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like that.
So what comes to mind when we
Well,
the do's and don'ts?
the first thing that comes to mind as a myth, if I may, is one of the things I believed is, well, if it worked for that person, then it should work for me, right? And then when it doesn't,
strategy wise,
yeah, like let's say saying I am rich 17 times a day out loud in the mirror, whatever, could have worked wonders for one person. And so I try it and it doesn't work. And then I'm like, what did I do? Why am I failed at this? What's wrong with what I did? And I think the most important thing, and I talked about this recently as well, just in general, is like, if it worked for one person, there's no guarantee that it will work for you. But that's actually a good thing, because how much fun is it to explore what actually will work for you? Because there is something that will work for you, but betting on the thing that worked for someone else and feeling like if it doesn't work, then it must be something wrong with you, is kind of a non-starter. It's setting yourself up for failure. So had I known that in the beginning, I know I would have done things differently. So if that's you guys, if anybody out there can relate to that, there is something that will work for you and work wonders, and you get to figure out what that is. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, you get to figure it out. You get to let it be revealed to you. And this point that you're making reminds me of what I've been teaching a lot in this course and just like on social media and stuff. And that's like the how is not your job. The
Yeah,
how is the
the how is none of your
universe's
business.
job. The
Think about
how,
this, guys. Tell me how you feel about this sentence. The how is none of your business. For me, I'm just like, whew, like it just like I can actually like exhale, and it feels very, very good to me to not have to worry about the how. I only have to worry about the what. And that feels really nice. For some people, it might give them anxiety, but it's none of your business. Just worry about what you want, and the universe will do its best work for you.
yeah. So to put this into context of like a do or a don't, we can say don't be a micromanager of the universe and
Yeah,
don't insist that your money comes in a certain specific way. You
yeah,
have to be open and let your strategy and your journey be revealed to you because the how is not any of your business until it is, right? Because at some
yeah.
point you do get some breadcrumbs, you do get some hints, you do get some opportunities, and it's your chance to walk through that door and you're like, oh, this is how it's happening. Now it's happening, right? But until then, you don't have to say, oh, my money has to come to me
Yeah.
through this, or it has to come to me through my work, or it has to come through my purpose. Like I have to figure out what my purpose is before I can make more money. Like that's all just
Mm-hmm.
too much pressure. There are
Yeah.
so many ways that money can come to you. And there doesn't have to be like this, it can only come to me when, it can only come to me from, that's just
Yeah.
you placing your own limitations on the universe. When in reality, like the universe knows the fastest, easiest, most efficient way to get it to you. But the question is like, are you staying open to that? Or are you insisting that it comes your way, which is likely slower, less money, more work, more time, especially
Yeah.
if you believe that making more money is going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of work.
Which is another thing that we're going to get into. But I'm visualizing, like, have you guys ever played a game? I'm talking to listeners and definitely Kelsey because she can actually respond to me. But have you ever played the game where let's say you're standing in a corridor with like two elevators on this side, two elevators on this side, and you're like, which one's going to open? Which one's going to open? And you have to like guess. I play this with my kids all the time. And sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. But imagine that game with abundance, and if it doesn't come through the elevator or the door that you're betting on, you feel like horrible. Or rather, because you're so focused on this one door, you're not even letting the other doors open. So it's like, wouldn't you want to just let all the doors open? Wouldn't you want to unlock all the doors just in case? Like, why not? So I think that just allowing however it comes to you. My favorite way for money to come to me, besides like actual clients, is unexpected checks in the mail. And imagine if I said it can only come from clients. Like, no, that's just my favorite way, but it can come to me so many other ways. And isn't that amazing that there are infinite amount of ways that money can just show up for you if you are allowing yourself to not focus quite so much on the one way, or rather putting all of your eggs in that basket. Yeah, it can feel so much more effortless, and you might even get more than you than you really bargained for that you thought you were going to get.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Don't control the how, folks. Do
Don't
stay
do
open.
it. Don't
Do
you
let
do
the
it.
universe surprise you.
Yeah.
So, another do that came to me as I was pondering this topic is do this is where a lot of people I think go wrong. Do change something. Do change something. Like change something if you're asking for a different result in your life. Because I feel like what a lot of people do is they're like, oh, law of attraction, let me just write it down. It's going to come. And it's like, yeah, but you could expedite the process of it coming and you could make space for it coming and you could release resistance
Mm-hmm.
for more to come if you actually like do something about your desire instead of just like wishing for it and like waiting for it to come. I
Yeah.
think a more proactive, co creative approach is to make some sort of shift. So, for example, I remember there was a time where I was like scared to manifest more money because I knew I wasn't financially organized from like a tax perspective. Like I didn't have a good tax person. I didn't know that I needed an LLC. Like I didn't know what I was doing. And I was just like, "Oh, I don't want to bring in more money because what if I have to pay too many taxes on it? I'm
Yeah.
going to get ripped off and like I'm not organized and this is a disaster." So, in order for me to release that resistance, I was like, okay, I got to get a good tax person. I got to know how to set this up so that I can feel like, okay, I'm ready, I'm organized, let it come to me, baby, you know? And
Yeah.
as soon as I did that, I really did make more money and just feel more relaxed and easy about it. So it was like identifying the resistance, making that not a problem anymore. And then I didn't have that resistance. But another way that this could look is like, oh, I want to manifest more money. Let me like symbolically make space for it in my home.
Yeah.
Like maybe you just do a deep clean, you get rid of all the junk, you get rid of all the stuff you don't need, and you just create more space in your life for more opportunity to enter,
The
feng
universe
shui
loves an empty
101.
space. The universe loves an empty space. The universe loves an empty space. So if you are filling a space with a terrible partner or junk or clutter, it's not going to know where to put your gift. So if you clear space for it, it works wonders. I love this. I do this with my practice actually. Like if I once I use all the folders in my, what is it called, a filing cabinet, I'll create client folders, but with obviously no client yet. I'll make the folder, I'll put all the paperwork in there, I'll even write a check for the amount that my program is and put it in the folder and just leave it, and they always get filled. They always get filled. And I don't know if it's just because I've reached a point in my career where I don't like need to do it anymore, but I'm never going to stop doing it because it feels really good to do. And I think that that's something important that you touched on too, is like once you felt clear, once you felt organized enough, the money came. My question to you is, if you didn't feel organized per se, but you also didn't let that stop you or see that as an obstacle, do you think you would have still got money?
Mm, for me personally, I would say no, because I just didn't feel like ready to accept
But
more.
that's what I'm saying. If you did, like, if nothing else changed, you still had your paperwork, but okay, fine. You're someone else. Pretend to be someone else. Because I know it's hard to be like, I would never be like this. But you are someone else who, even though they're unorganized, they don't have the tax person of their dreams, but they feel ready. I think the money would still come because it's all about how you feel about it.
Yeah, if you feel ready, but I'm saying the parts of you that don't feel ready, you gotta situate that,
Of
and then
course.
you'll feel ready.
But that's bringing my point home, which is it all matter it well, the only thing that matters is how ready you feel to accept it. And it could be the wrong tax person, it could be limiting beliefs from your childhood. No matter what it is, if you don't feel ready, what is that that's stopping you? And that's, I think, what Kelsey's trying to say is that's what you need to take action on and maybe help to clear that way a little bit.
Yeah, or even like that's just one example, but another example could be like if you see yourself as someone who's really bad at managing money
Mm-hmm.
and you know that like no amount of money is going to fix that problem. Like you're always going to live paycheck to paycheck, no matter how big your paychecks are just because of your habits,
Yeah.
then that's an opportunity to shift the way that you see yourself. You label
Yep.
yourself in your mind, you talk about yourself so that you can behave in a new way. Because if you
Mm-hmm.
decided, okay, in the past, yes, I was a splurger. I never saved. I never invested. Like I was bad with money. But right now, in this new moment, which is every moment can be new if you let it be, right now, I'm going to decide from here on out, I am a saver. Maybe I'm not the best at
Kelsey,
it yet, but I'm a saver. And if you just flip that script in your head, that could help you to start actually acting like a saver, behaving like a saver, and you could accumulate more money and have more sticking
this
power.
is one of the first things and one of the easiest ways that I teach clients to start to separate themselves from the limiting belief or from the belief that they don't want to have. So, first, identify what the belief is. Second, identify what you'd like to believe instead. And then say, in the past, I found it hard to do this. In the past, it was a little bit more difficult for me, but I'm getting better every day and it's getting better and better. And I'm more comfortable doing this every day, kind of separating yourself as that was in the past, this is now. And you're, yeah, absolutely spot on. That is one of the best ways to do that. And you could do that with anything, but we're talking about money, so we're going to stay on money.
Yeah, and really the point we're trying to make here, the do when it comes to manifesting more money is do make some sort of shift. Do make some sort of space, whether it's in your thoughts, whether it's in your home, whether it's in your wallet, whether it's, in your
Yeah.
tax compliance, like just do what you got to do to invite it in. That's really the point I'm trying to make. You can't really
Yep.
expect your life to be different if you don't change one single thing about your thoughts, your habits, your beliefs, your actions. It's not really just gonna be like, oh, I want it to be different and now it's different. No, the point of manifestation is that it's an act of becoming, right? So you have to make some sort of change if you want like massive results. If you want to like
Yeah.
manifest some like lawsuit from a long time ago where you make like $30 from when you used to work at Abercrombie, like that's cool. You probably won't have to make a change. But if you want to manifest like real money, like a next level, yes, you are going to be required to be your next level self. That's
Yep.
just the game.
Yeah. And at the ground floor, basic of manifestation is you are an energetic match to everything that's in your life right now. I'm sorry, or congratulations, probably both. But you are an energetic match to everything in your life right now. So when we say it's a process of becoming, like what is it you want to manifest and how can you better take a step in that direction? I'm never going to say, oh gosh, Kelsey, I know we've seen it on TikTok where they're just like, just say it a lot. Just say it a lot. Just think it and it'll happen. Like,
I
I
have to write
mean,
it down in this color pen five
it's
times a day, 55
it's
times a week.
possible.
5 by 5 method. I'm like, what the fuck are these weird ass methods? Like, you don't
So
have to
many
do this
times I'm like, what
weird
are you?
witchery.
I just think that at the end of the day, you're gonna have to do something 100%. I don't think that you can just snap your fingers, say home sweet home a million or no place like home, and then you'll be back. Like, I just don't see that happening. It's not fair to expect that from yourself. And it's kind of in its own way limiting the universe by asking something unreasonable. And I don't want to say unreasonable when it comes to the universe. I know how that can sound, but like you must do something. I think the perfect manifestation is the blend of your action, as we just spoke on, and your trust and belief in the universe that it can make it happen. It must be a co-creative process. And I don't think it's supposed to just fall in your lap because who are you becoming if that happens?
Yeah, and to add to what you're saying, to go even deeper, like your vibrational match to where you are right now, but also like where you are right now is already old news, and that was created by your past self, right?
Yeah.
So now that you're in this new space of a new you right now in this new moment, being reborn
Yep.
all the time, if you let yourself be, then the future can be totally different. And whatever is happening right now is almost irrelevant because that's like, oh, that's what I already created. What am I
Yeah.
going to create next?
What I don't know the science behind this or if there even is any. I don't know if this is real or accurate, but I did hear once that what you're experiencing in your life now, like manifestation has an average 3-month turnaround. Again, have no idea if this is real, but average 3-month turnaround. So wherever you are right now is the result of your manifestations like 2 or 3 months ago. What do you think about that?
I think that the concept is true that there's a lag time, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't think 3 months is like general rule of
I don't
thumb.
think there could ever be a hard and fast, like,
It
oh, it's 3 months is up. Here we
It
go.
depends on too many factors.
Yeah.
That's not true. But I
Yeah.
think that the idea that yes, it takes some time for things to manifest, longer or shorter, depending on the circumstances, how much resistance you have, how open you are, how available what you want already is. Like, is it almost done? Does it need more things for the universe to
The
bring together for it to
frequency.
happen? There's just so many factors.
Yeah.
Are you ready to receive it? Like, as ready as you think you are? Um, but I definitely do know that there is a lag time. Like it takes time for things to
Mm-hmm.
manifest in the 3D and to become real. So just because something's taking time doesn't mean you have to make it mean that it's not happening or it's not meant for you or it's never going to happen. Things just take
Yeah.
time.
Things take time. And here's something that really helped me. I cannot remember where I heard it from, but I got this knowing, this idea that low vibration feelings and thoughts travel slower because they're lower vibration
They do. That's true.
than of course, than higher vibration. So the reason that makes me happy is because when you're having a really off day where you just feel like it's never going to happen and it's just so far away and how could it ever, and I just don't feel worthy or deserving, or cancel because that's not how I feel, but people do, that is okay. Like, that is allowed. You're allowed to have days like that. And I think that it really kind of helps with the toxic positivity. See, my brain can't even say that. Toxic positivity that just
Words are
tells you you
hard.
have to be in a good mood all the time. You have to just stay high vibe all the time. No, you don't. Sure, it could happen faster if you do, but you can't. Who on this planet is able to stay positive all the time? I call them out. I'm going to call them out. I don't think that's real. I don't think it's possible. And I don't think it's healthy for you to expect yourself to be in a great high vibe all the time. So take some peace of mind in knowing that even if you do have one of those days, those low vibrations are not catching up to the high vibrations that you've already put in, all of that good work that you've put in. You're allowed to have bad days. You're allowed to have, I'm not even going to say bad, low vibrational days where you just want to, you know, wallow. I've wanted to
Yeah.
wallow before,
And you're
for
allowed to have
sure.
negative thoughts, and you're allowed to have moments where you don't believe in yourself, and you're allowed to have all those moments of contrast because that's what leads to the expansion.
Yep.
So
And
there
they're
you
not
go.
catching
It's
up
all
to all the
part of
good
the
work you've
process.
done. Yeah. So give
Yeah.
yourself grace a little bit. We're all about grace on this podcast.
Yes. 1000%. So I want to dive into next. Well, I want to ask you, Lindsay,
Mm-hmm.
when you're like, okay, I'm ready to call in next level, more money, like what's the first thing you do? Like, talk to us about your favorite intention setting work and practices.
Okay. Well, the first thing I do is think about what it is I want.
Yeah.
So, like, very first. And then, like, do I feel good about that? I got to find the right level of feel good about it. Because if I say, oh, I want to be a millionaire tomorrow, and that doesn't feel good because I know that I'm going to set myself up for disappointment. And I know there are people that say, oh, there's no dream that's too big. But okay, for me, there is. Like, I need to take it one step at a time. So, to whatever feels best. So, I find that usually if it's money, then it will be a number. It won't be like a deadline because I can't work under deadlines. So it'll just be a number. And then what I've really loved doing when I'm setting these kinds of intentions is I'll get a piece of paper and a pen, because we all know on this podcast, and if we don't, I will educate you, how important handwriting is to manifestation and to
Tell them.
subconscious work of any kind.
Preach.
Because, should I just tell them real quick?
Yeah.
Because your handwriting is a direct line to your subconscious mind. That's where you've learned and stored that information of how to write. Whenever you want to journal or write anything, you don't have to think about how to make the letters. You just make the letters. You think the thought and it shows up on the paper. And that's because it is an automatic behavior. All automatic behaviors live in your subconscious mind. So if you ever want to communicate with your subconscious, get something out or put something in to that subconscious, handwriting, preferably cursive. But more and more kids these days are not learning cursive, and that's very sad to me. So however you write is fine. But anyway, so the point is, one thing that I've really loved to do is start, as we were talking about earlier on the show, actually, writing down all the possible ways I can think of where that money can come to me. And when I think I'm finished, I'll think of one more. And when I think I'm finished, I'll think of two more, five more, until that paper is like full of ways. And they can be outlandish, they can be crazy, they can be silly, but they are possible. And I'll just write them down. And that makes me feel so much better than being like, okay, well, I got to hustle hard. If I'm going to manifest all this money, I got to do all this. And no, just think of all the ways money can come to you. You could find $50 on the street today. Like, think about that. You definitely could. You could get an unexpected credit from your bank. You could get unexpected checks in the mail. Again, my favorite ways are the unexpected ways, and they are plentiful. So I like to do that. Definitely. It really, really helps.
Hey there. We hope you're enjoying this episode so far, but if you want to listen to the whole thing, we're going to invite you over to our podcast. Either search for High Vibing It on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you guys listen to podcasts, or even better, if you want to watch the extended video version of this episode that's even longer than the actual podcast itself, head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/highvibe. Lindsay, tell them what's awesome about the Patreon.
Patreon is where we have all of our extended episodes, as Kelsey said. We have it on video, so you can actually see the things that we're talking about. Sometimes we have visual visual aids, and it's nice to know what we're talking about. We also have hangouts that we do sometimes that are exclusive to Patreon people. And you can get started with all of this and bonus content and everything that we have only for the Patreon people for as little as $3. I think it's $3.33 a month. And that's it. And you guys can get all the benefits and all access to everything that we put in there. Really
Yeah.
cool.
It's really cool, really fun, super easy to join. And you guys don't even have to do that to finish this episode. If you're like, screw it, I don't want to pay any money, I just want to hear the rest of this episode, go to our podcast, High Vibe in It, search for it wherever you listen. It's totally free. Either way, enjoy the rest of the show wherever you choose to enjoy it. And we will see you guys next week because we do a new one every week. Adios.
Bye.